Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Oh, yes, it is live. I just saw a flash on my screen. Oh, it was still loading or something. Anyway, it's live now. I'll just share the oh yeah, I'll just share the link. Share the linky dink. Okay. We have shared the link. So hi. Hello. Welcome. Bienvenue. What's that? French. Bienvenue. Yes. Bienvenue. Yeah. I can't remember anymore. Welcome to the live stream. I do these streams every Thursday at 9:30 in case you're new to the channel. So you can watch live at 9:30, that's UK time, 9:30 on my channel. And you can ask questions as well after the introduction. You can ask questions through Skype, and my Skype address is Rebekah Maroon. So first of all, friend me on Skype, and then you can either write a question or you can call in and talk to me on the recording. And that's basically the way it plays out. So yes, so yeah, I have no talks or anything or retreats or anything to mention. And thank you to Susan and to those who were involved in the online summit last week. Yeah. Okay, so we shall begin. What's this? So if you're new to the channel, I just tend to sit for a little bit before I do the introduction. Not planning what to say or anything. It's just sitting without any intention or any plan. It's just sitting until the feeling comes and the words come to speak. So yeah, just hanging about until the words come. Just hanging around. Just taking my socks off. Hopefully the microphone is okay this time. Please let me know if it's not. Just to triple check. I can't tell on here, can I? Oh yeah, you can't see it on this bit. I wonder why you can't see it. No. Strange. No. So please do let me know if if you can't hear me, or if the volume, if the quality of the audio isn't very good. So thank you for helping out. So this is it. This is it. And this is such a profound statement. It's such a profound thing to be pointing out. Humanity has been conditioned, or there's just this movement of humanity, this programming of humanity that has fallen into time, fallen into thinking. And people often refer to the biblical story of Adam and Eve and the beginning of that, the beginning of losing home, losing heaven. But humanity has fallen into this dream of thought, of thinking. So as the functioning brain has grown and developed, and maybe even before this happened, there was humans without this, not without a brain, but without this intense functioning of the brain or of thinking. But anyways, so as this development of the brain started to happen, there was great things that accompany that. So better, you could create, you can imagine and create and think about things that aren't actually happening, and project. And it's a wonderful tool, a wonderful faculty, the thinking ability. But as it began to grow more and more and get more and more complicated, and the abstraction of this idea of a person, of me, I became a thought, I became an idea. Like the ability to imagine who we are, who I am. But then at some point suffering began to happen as the identification with that faculty got stronger and stronger. So the identification with that idea of who I am became stronger. So there was a lot less ability to disconnect from it. It became such a identified way of being, to identify and live as this mental abstraction of who you are. It became maybe more difficult to separate from that identity. So as that happened, suffering became more and more intense. So living through this functioning mind as someone became more and more intense, and therefore more and more uncomfortableness, living as this abstraction, this idea. And then with this obviously amazing intellect, it began to try to fix. So it's fix the environment. Now let's fix who I am. Let's fix the human. Let's sort out the human's problems, believing that the problem was in this idea of someone. And so this belief that I am someone, I am a limitation, I am an idea, I am a thought, I'm a bundle of thoughts and ideas. This is suffering for humans. This is energetical suffering for humans. And the solution to that suffering isn't in that wonderful, complex mind. It isn't found in the intellect. It isn't found in more thinking, and more ideas, and more beliefs. So it seems to appear in spirituality appears, religion appears, non-duality appears. It seems to appear as ideas, as a belief, as a story. So it appears but what it's pointing to is not something within that realm of belief and story and more complex thinking. It's a really simple message that points outside of the realm of thinking. Of complexity, of levels and frameworks and a big fat book and all these things. These things of learning. I mean, learning isn't a bad thing. It's great to learn things. But what's ultimately being pointed to is outside of learning. Is pointing back to the primary reality, beyond identification with thinking, with thoughts, with mind. It's pointing right back to this experience. This experience, which is totally empty, is totally empty, or you could say nothing is happening. There's an emptiness. There's a freedom. There's a not a thing. Stillness. Total stillness. But it's also appearing as all things, as movement, as seeming camera, as seeming words, as seeming hand gesturing, as seeming chair on the arms, sensation of the armrests, the back on the chair, the images on the screen, the sound of this voice appearing, the light of the camera, the clock, the wall, the breathing. This is it. This is it. The mind, the complex mind, with its promises of tomorrow, its promises of getting something in the future, its talkings of getting it wrong in the past. It isn't truth. It isn't true. Doesn't mean that thoughts aren't allowed and thoughts don't have a place here. They obviously have a place here, but they're appearing here, but they aren't truth. They're a part of the human functioning, the human way of being, that we have language, we have thoughts. We seemingly can say I and you and them, and I'm sorry I did it wrong, or you've done something wrong to me, or we seemingly have that way of communicating. And in this experience, non-duality isn't about eradicating that. That's a part of functioning. It's a part of being human, to say, I'm sorry, I did this wrong, or that really upset me what you did, or whatever. It's a part of communication. It's a part of being alive as a human. So what's being pointed to isn't the rejection of anything. Life is happening. Movement is happening. Emotion is happening. Feelings are happening. Thoughts are happening. Ideas are happening. So what I'm pointing to is who are these things happening to, or who's doing these things. It's an inquiry into this dream, this dream of you, this dream of someone living this claiming that seems to happen, that I am here, I'm living this, I'm doing. As a truth, as that being an actual reality. In expression, it's okay to say I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but in its energetic truth, is that really the truth of things? And I would say that isn't the truth. There isn't anyone here living, there isn't anyone here doing anything. There's life appearing, life being. Life expressing. And in this appears a seeming human. Which is not really true. Like, it's not, the human isn't someone the way we've been living as if it is someone. The human isn't someone. There isn't someone living through human. The human is a mask. A picture of a mask came from a mask or costume. That's all it is. And that which isn't, that which isn't, let's call it nothing, emptiness, seems to wear lots of masks and costumes. It seems to appear as form, as different forms. and yet it isn't lost in its forms. It seems to be that way in humans. It seems to be lost, but in actuality it's never lost. It can't be lost. There's just a dream that plays in humans of it being lost, and of a seeker trying to find it. But that's the way it seems to happen. That's the way it seems to appear. But in actuality, nothing is lost. There isn't a seeker. There isn't nothing missing. This is it. There's nothing else. There's nowhere else. This is it. This is what's being longed for, this moment, this happening. This is all there is. I hope this sounds okay. No one said anything. Well, I'm not on Skype, so maybe that would help if I go on Skype. Hopefully that was the sound wasn't a chipmunk voice. We're the chipmunks. This is all there is. This is it. I can't do a chipmunk voice. Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, I have no messages saying, Rebekah, there's no sound, or the sound's not right. That's cool. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, oh, I've got to mute the Hi. Okay, you have a question. What is your question? You are welcome to ask questions. Okay, you're gonna call in. Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I have one short question today.
Yeah, sure.
Or tonight. What do you think? Why is like that, or how is possible? Why we so many times feel like doers? How is it possible, or why it's like we feels like the people doing something. What is this? The feeling of doing something. What is this? We don't do actually nothing. So what is this feeling like we're doing something?
Yeah.
That's my question for today.
I feel like it's just part of the play. So I feel like as this instrument, there is a sense of doing. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, wash the dishes, I'm going to make dinner, I'm going to go to bed now. And it's just part of the play of this instrument. So I don't feel there's a problem in this sense of the human having a sense of doership practically, and in that manner.
It's very cool. It's very great.
Yeah, it feels great. It feels empowering. It feels like you can do things, you can choose, and you can live, and you can follow your passions, and it feels quite empowering and strong to have that.
Is it strange? Isn't it strange?
Well, yeah, this whole thing is strange. Waking up, in the morning is all just strange. So it's very natural to have that. So with my kids, I don't say, you aren't the doer. There's a natural sense of you're doing that mess. So messy. There's a natural sense of ownership and doership. The problem is when that becomes like a reality, like you begin to shrink from being everything, nothing. You shrink into a doer, into, well, I'm this body, I am doing as an independent body. And that's the suffering, that's the sense of misidentification that happens in human, that you are a limited thing, being, entity in the body. So this isn't about that disappearing totally. There's a sense of there's just life happening, and in that, as part of a human, there's this language of saying, I'm going here, I'm doing that, you said this, I'm saying that. It's a normal part of functioning. The difference is when you're identified with that doer, with that story of someone, it then begins to feel uncomfortable, and it's confusing choice, and doing the right thing, and looking at in the timeline for your future, getting the right choice, and it's really complicated and stressful when you're living as that doer. Then you're guilty for past actions, and you're responsible for future actions and future choices. Very heavy. Whereas when there's that, let's say, collapsing back into what you are, that there is seeming doing, there's seeming activity. I'm advertising this milkshake now. Oh no, I'm hiding my t-shirt. So when there's that collapsing back into what you truly are, which isn't an identity, it isn't a body, then there's natural just body happening, natural behaviors and actions and choices being made without there being someone doing it or responsible for it or in charge of it. It's just a playing out as if that's the case, a playing out as if I've chose to wear this t-shirt, or I've chosen to that plays out while the body's alive. That's going to keep playing out. This seeming choice, this seeming doer, this seeming chooser. But actually, that's not the case at all.
So it's still some kind of mystery, mystery without any answer.
Yeah, yeah. There's no intellectual answer. This is the answer, as in what's happening is the answer, but not an answer to a question. It's just the answer, as in it's all there is. The question will never be answered. And yet this is the answer.
Something is like mystery is very cool.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Okay. Yeah, so that's my one question. I am happy because when I have question, I can call and say something.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
Oh, yeah. It's really lovely how we can ask questions and talk about this and discuss it, and yeah, it's really wonderful that this is available. Really wonderful, quite magical how this is available. Just the idea just came about being young, and there wasn't this availability of this message in my world. There was no non-duality or internet. There's no non-duality. There was no books. There was no obviously they were around, but not in my vicinity. It wasn't at the time. But yeah, it's wonderful that we have the internet now, and there's books, and there's talks, and there's this, and there's that. There's so much talking about this.
And still so many people don't hear about this word, non-duality. Sometimes I talk with someone, non-duality, what?
Yeah. But
it's something still new.
Yeah.
Talking about non-duality, changing the perception also. This is powerful.
Yeah. I think it is quite new how available it is. I think it's always been spoken about probably, but it's now much more. If you're leaning that way, it appears in book form, in videos, it appears. So yeah.
Yes, this is good forms, because in cinema, I don't know, in cinema, the big movies on the big screen never talk about it. So so strong.
Yeah, actually, I do feel like it's always been there. It's always been in films and in songs and in stories and nursery rhymes and morals, and it's always been morals. No, that and like myths, and it's always really been there. It's always been there. But yeah, the way we talk about it, like directly, it's very maybe new. I don't know.
All right, so that's it for today, for tonight.
Yeah, thank you for calling and for connecting and just being open and asking and speaking with me. Really lovely.
All right.
Okay, Lucas. Bye.
All right. Thank you for good energy.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, that's nice. So feel free to ask anything or share anything through Skype. I'm not sure if people enjoy me not talking. I'm not sure if people like that or not. So I feel to end sometimes, to end the stream. Not always. It depends. I don't feel to end it just yet. Alvin Simon Theodore. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, maybe we end the stream. Thank you and goodbye. Have a good week. See you next Thursday. Bye.